During Flex 1, it's incredibly important that there is a technician who comes to check if there are any problem laptops. If there are, they'll have been placed right here by Mrs. Yunt or Mrs. Hall during the morning. So take those. They've already documented in the spreadsheet what the problem is. Also double check. Are there 4 loaners here? If there are, you're good. If not, how many do they need for there to be 4? Some simple mental math. If there are only 2 on the pile, you know you're going to have to bring 2 back from the tech room. Make sure that there are 4 at all times. So take the problem laptops with you and keep in mind how many you're going to need. Also during Flex 1, somebody wants to double check that the slideshow is on the TV. If it is not, if the TV would not be on, the power button is behind the TV. And there is a remote in the tech room as well as in the main office. If you picked up any laptops, you're going to bring them over to the Apple Core technician area. There may already be some laptops there that Mrs. Hagee, Mr. Garber, or Mr. Donnelly placed there in the morning. You'll then get any needed loaners from that top shelf for Mrs. Yunt. Remember, all loaners have the LO at the end of the number. When technicians report to the Apple Core technician area, you'll see any problem laptops there. You can double check what is going on with them by looking at the asset tag number on the back of the laptop and then comparing that with the spreadsheet. If this computer is asleep, you can wake it up with a gentle press of the power button and you'll be able to see that number. Use the right arrow key to go through what the problem is. And don't forget, when you've finished fixing something, there's a column for the resolution. Type in what you did, the date you took care of that, and then your name. Another thing you then want to do is turn the line gray. That gray shading indicates that that job is complete. To do that, click on the number of the entire row. Go to the little paint bucket. Choose one of the grays. It will gray that out. And then Jordan will know that she can archive those repairs. Makes it a little bit easier for the person sitting here as well, because they know the ones that are not grayed out are ones that need to be worked on. Also, always remember, if you're looking what to work on, you need to be on the PBIS tab. There's also a tab for the high school, which we don't need. And the completed ones are where Jordan is archiving jobs that have been done. Get a piece of masking tape, write the person's name on it, put it on the laptop if it does not already have that. And once everything is done, place it carefully on the counter for pickup. If you're unable to resolve the problem, you should put in the troubleshooting notes anything that you attempted to do and leave these other areas blank. Those will then become issues from Mr. Swigert. Again, make sure the student's name is on it with masking tape, and you'll take that over to the Mr. Swigert, Mrs. Simmons area and leave that for Mr. Swigert. Trevor will be emailing Mr. Swigert at the end of Flex 2 with any issues that remain for him to fix. Please keep the cleaning station organized and neat. If you use rags to clean screens and they get wet, just hang them to dry a bit, and then once they're dry the next day, fold them up and place them on that pile. About supplies. Anything needed for pros are on the top level of the cart. All other supplies are for the white MacBooks. There are some duck heads and chargers. If you determine that somebody's charger is not working and it appears that it's not anything that they've done, there's no visible damage, you might be able to issue them a new charger or duck head. Double check that with Mr. Swigert before you just give that. And then he'll give you some directions on what to do. If there's ever any damage, it must be something that Mr. Swigert takes a look at. For fixing keyboards, there are some extra keyboards here. These silver keyboards for pros don't match with some of the ones that we have. So don't assume just because you're fixing a MacBook Pro that you'll be able to use a black key. You'll have to take a very close look to see whether there are hooks or clips. If you're not sure, ask another technician who might know. It is okay to use white keys on the black keyboards. Remember, you need both the plastic clip inside and the key itself. If someone has a problem with their bag, underneath the table, you'll be able to find some used bags. Please make a note of what the problem with the bag was. Attach that note to their old bag. Place that over in the Mr. Swigert, Mrs. Simmons area for Mr. Swigert to take a look at. But grab one of these older bags that are on the floor, cross out the number that's there, and use the silver Sharpies in the cleaning station to write that student's number. There are brand new bags in the green container and in the bags in the corner. Those should only be used for new students, or if Mr. Swigert tells you that that student should get a brand new bag. If you finish a repair or a student comes in to pick up a repaired laptop, they may have had a loaner. That loaner needs to go to whoever is sitting at the help desk. He or she can then check that loaner in on the spreadsheet. They'll make sure that is logged out and shut down. And then either they or any technician can take it over to the loaner area and plug it in to charge. Loaner laptops should be on the top shelf of the bookshelf.